The Book of Lies by Aleister Crowley, Chapter 0 through 50. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. AA publication in classes C and D. Official for Babes of the Abyss. Imprimatur in Frater A.A. Liber 333. The Book of Lies, which is also falsely called Breaks, the wanderings or falsifications of the one thought of Frater Perdurabo, which thought is itself untrue. Break, break, break at the foot of thy stones, O sea. I would that I could utter the thoughts that arise in me. Question mark. Exclamation point. Chapter 0. The chapter that is not a chapter. Oh, the anti-primal triad which is not God. Nothing is, nothing becomes, nothing is not. The first triad which is God. I am. I utter the word. I hear the word. The abyss. The word is broken up. There is knowledge. Knowledge is relation. These fragments are creation. The broken manifests light. The second triad, which is God. God the Father and Mother is concealed in generation. God is concealed in the whirling energy of nature. God is manifest in gathering, harmony, consideration, the mirror of the sun and of the heart. The third triad. Bearing, preparing, wavering, flowing, flashing, stability, begetting. The 10th emanation. The world. Chapter 1. The Sabbath of the Goat. O, the heart of Nox, the night of Pan. Pan, duality, energy, death. Death, begetting, the supporters of O. To beget is to die. To die is to beget. Cast the seed into the field of night. Life and death are two names of A. Kill thyself. Neither of these alone is enough. Chapter 2. The Cry of the Hawk. Hur hath a secret fourfold name. It is, do what thou wilt. 4 words, not, one, many, all. Thou child, thy name is holy, thy kingdom is come, thy will is done. Here is the bread, here is the blood. Bring us through temptation, deliver us from good and evil, that mine as thine be the crown of the kingdom, even now. Abrahadabra. These 10 words are for the name of the One. Chapter 3. The Oyster. The brothers of AA are one with the mother of the child. The many is as adorable to the one as the one is to the many. This is the love of these. Creation, parturition, is the bliss of the one. Coition, dissolution, is the bliss of the many. The all thus interwoven of these is bliss. Naught is beyond bliss. The man delights in uniting with the woman in parting from the child. The brothers of AA are women. The aspirants to AA are men. Chapter 4. Peaches. Soft and hollow, how thou dost overcome the hard and full. It dies, it gives itself. To thee is the fruit. Be thou the bride, thou shalt be the mother hereafter. To all impressions thus, let them not overcome thee, yet let them breed within thee. The least of the impressions, come to its perfection, is Pan. Receive 1,000 lovers, thou shalt bear but one child. This child shall be the heir of Fate the Father. Chapter 5. The Battle of the Ants. That is not which is. The only word is silence. The only meaning of that word is not. Thoughts are false. Fatherhood is unity disguised as duality. Peace implies war. Power implies war. Harmony implies war. Victory implies war. Glory implies war. Foundation implies war. Alas for the kingdom wherein all these are at war. Chapter 6. Caviar. The word was uttered. The one exploded into 1,000 million worlds. Each world contained 1,000 million spheres. Each sphere contained 1,000 million planets. Each planet contained 1,000 million stars. Each star contained a many thousand million things. Of these the reasoner took 6, and, preening, said, This is the one and the all. These 6 the adept harmonized, and said, This is the heart of the one and the all. These 6 were destroyed by the master of the temple, and he spake not. The ash thereof was burnt up by the Magus into the Word. Of all this did the Ipsissimus know nothing. Chapter 7. The Dinosaurs. None are they whose number is 6, else were they 6 indeed. 7 are these 6 that live not in the city of the pyramids, under the night of Pan. There was Lao Tzu, there was Siddhartha, there was Krishna, there was Tahuti, there was Moshe, there was Dionysus, there was Mahmud. But the 7th men called Perdurabo, for, enduring unto the end, at the end was not to endure. Amen. Chapter 8. Steeped Horsehair. Mind is a disease of semen. All that a man is or may be is hidden therein. Bodily functions are parts of the machine, silent unless in dis-ease. But mind, never at ease, creaketh I. This I persisteth not, posteth not through generations, changeth momently, finally is dead. Therefore is man only himself, when lost to himself in the charioting. Chapter 9. The Branks. Being is the noun, form is the adjective, matter is the noun, motion is the verb. Wherefore hath being clothed itself with form? Wherefore hath matter manifested itself in motion? Answer not, O silent one, for there is no wherefore, no because. The name of that is not known. The pronoun interprets, that is, misinterprets, it. Time and space are adverbs. Duality begat the conjunction. The conditioned is father of the preposition. The article also marketh division. but the interjection is the sound that endeth in silence. Destroy thereof the 8 parts of speech. The 9th is nigh unto truth. This also must be destroyed before thou enterest into the silence. Aum. Chapter 10. Whittlestraws. The abyss of hallucination has law and reason, but in truth there is no bond between the toys of the gods. This reason and law is the bond of the great lie. Truth, 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 crieth the Lord of the abyss of hallucinations. There is no silence in that abyss, for all that men call silence is its speech. The abyss is also called hell, and the many. Its name is consciousness and the universe among men. But that which neither is silent nor speaks rejoices therein. Chapter 11. The Glowworm. Concerning the holy three and naught, knew it, had it, Rahur Kuit, are only to be understood by the master of the temple. They are above the abyss, and contain all contradiction in themselves. Below them is a seeming duality of chaos and Babylon. These are called father and mother, but it is not so. They are called brother and sister, but it is not so. They are called husband and wife, but it is not so. The reflection of all is Pan. The night of Pan is the annihilation of the all. Cast down through the abyss is the light, the rosy cross, the rapture of union that destroys. That is the way. The rosy cross is the ambassador of Pan. How infinite is the distance from this to that, yet all is here and now. Nor is there any there or then, for all that is, what is it but a manifestation, that is a part, that is a falsehood, of that which is not. Yet that which is not neither is nor is not that which is. Identity is perfect, therefore the law of identity is but a lie. For there is no subject, and there is
Millennia
no predicate,
ago, the ancients
nor is
forged
there
the Great Seal,
contradictory of
the
either
last
of these
desperate
things.
act to contain the
Holy,
encroaching
holy,
void.
holy
Millennia
are these
ago,
truths
the
that I
ancients
utter,
forged
knowing
the Great
them to
Seal,
be but
the
falsehoods.
last desperate
Broken
act to
mirrors,
contain the
troubled
encroaching
waters.
void.
Hide
Millennia
me, O
ago,
Our
the
Lady, in thy
ancients
womb,
forged the Great
for I
Seal,
may not
the
endure
last
the
desperate
rapture.
act to
In
contain the
this
encroaching
utterance of
void.
falsehood upon falsehood, whose contradictories are also false, it seems as if that which I uttered not were true. Blessed, unutterably blessed, is the last of the illusions. Let me play the man and thrust it from me. Amen. Chapter 12. The Dragonflies. I-O is the cry of the lower, as O-I of the higher. In figures they are 1001. In letters they are joy. For when all is equilibrated, when all is beheld from without all, there is joy, joy, joy that is but one facet of a diamond, every other facet whereof is more joyful than joy itself. Chapter 13. Pilgrim Talk. O thou that settest upon the path, false is the phantom that thou seekest. When thou hast it, thou shalt know all bitterness, thy teeth fixed in the Sodom apple. Thus hast thou been lured along that path, whose terror else had driven thee far away. O thou that stridest upon the middle of the path, no phantoms mock thee. For the stride's sake thou stridest. Thus art thou lured along that path, whose fascination else had driven thee far away. O thou that drawest toward the end of the path, effort is no more. Faster and faster dost thou fall. Thy weariness is changed into ineffable rest, for there is no thou upon that path. Thou hast become the way. Chapter 14. Onion Peelings. The universe is the practical joke of the general at the expense of the particular. Quoth Frater Perdurabo, and laughed. But those disciples nearest to him wept, seeing the universal sorrow. Those next to them laughed, seeing the universal joke. Below these certain disciples wept, then certain laughed. Others next wept. Others next laughed. Next others wept. Next others laughed. Last came those that wept because they could not see the joke, and those that laughed lest they should be thought not to see the joke, and thought it safe to act like Frater Perdurabo. But though Frater Perdurabo laughed openly, he also at the same time wept secretly, and in himself he neither laughed nor wept, nor did he mean what he said. Chapter 15. The Gun Barrel. Mighty and erect is this will of mine, this pyramid of fire whose summit is lost in heaven. Upon it have I burned the corpse of my desire. Mighty and erect is this phallus of my will. The seed thereof is that which I have borne within me from eternity, and it is lost within the body of Our Lady of the Stars. I am not I am but a hollow tube to bring down fire from heaven. Mighty and marvelous is this weakness, this heaven which draweth me into her womb, this dome which hideth, which absorbeth me. This is the night wherein I am lost, the love through which I am no longer I. Chapter 16. The Stag Beetle. Death implies change and individuality. If thou be that which hath no person, which is beyond the changing, even beyond changelessness, what hast thou to do with death? The bird of individuality is ecstasy, so also is its death. In love the individuality is slain. Who loves not love? Love death therefore, and long eagerly for it. Die daily. Chapter 17. The Swan. There is a swan whose name is ecstasy. It wingeth from the deserts of the north. It wingeth through the blue. It wingeth over the fields of rice. At its coming they push forth the green. In all the universe this swan alone is motionless. It seems to move as the sun seems to move. Such is the weakness of our sight. O fool, criest thou. Amen. Motion is relative. There is nothing that is still. Against this swan I shot an arrow. The white breast poured forth blood. Men smote me. Then, perceiving that I was but a pure fool, they let me pass. Thus, and not otherwise, I came to the Temple of the Grail. Chapter 18. Dewdrops. Verily, love is death, and death is life to come. Man returneth not again, the stream floweth not uphill. The old life is no more, there is a new life that is not his. Yet that life is of his very essence. It is more he than all that he calls he. In the silence of a dewdrop is every tendency of his soul and of his mind and of his body. It is the quintessence and the elixir of his being. Therein are the forces that made him, and his father and his father's father before him. This is the dew of immortality. Let this go free, even as it will. Thou art not its master, but the vehicle of it. Chapter 19. The Leopard and the Deer. The spots of the leopard are the sunlight in the glade. Pursue thou the deer stealthily at thy pleasure. The dappling of the deer is the sunlight in the glade. Concealed from the leopard do thou feed at thy pleasure. Resemble all that surroundeth thee, yet be thyself, and take thy pleasure among the living. This is that which is written, lurk, in the book of the law. Chapter 20. Samson. The universe is in equilibrium. Therefore he that is without it, though his force be but a feather, can overturn the universe. Be not caught within that web, O child of freedom. Be not entangled in the universal lie, O child of truth. Chapter 21. The Blind Webster. It is not necessary to understand. It is enough to adore. The God may be of clay. Adore him. He becomes God. We ignore what created us. We adore what we create. Let us create nothing but God. That which causes us to create is our true father and mother. We create in our own image, which is theirs. Let us create, therefore, without fear, for we can create nothing that is not God. Chapter 22. The Despot. The waiters of the best eating houses mock the whole world. They estimate every client at his proper value. This I know certainly, because they always treat me with profound respect. Thus they have flattered me into praising them thus publicly. Yet it is true, and they have this insight because they serve, and because they can have no personal interest in the affairs of those whom they serve. An absolute monarch would be absolutely wise and good. But no man is strong enough to have no interest. Therefore the best king would be pure chance. It is pure chance that rules the universe. Therefore, and only therefore, life is good. Chapter 23. Skidoo. What man is at ease in his inn? Get out. Wide is the world and cold. Get out. Thou hast become an initiate. Get out. But thou canst not get out by the way thou camest in. The way out is the way. Get out, for out is love and wisdom and power. Get out. If thou hast tea already, first get UT, then get O, and so at last get out. Chapter 24. The Hawk and the Blind Worm. This book would translate beyond reason into the words of reason. Explain thou snow to them of Andaman. The slaves of reason call this book abuse of language. They are right. Language was made for men to eat and drink, make love, do barter, die. The wealth of a language consists in its abstracts. The poorest tongues have wealth of concretes. Therefore have adepts praised silence. At least it does not mislead as speech does. Also, speech is a symptom of thought. Yet silence is but the negative side of truth. The positive side is beyond even silence. Nevertheless, one true God crieth Hryliu, and the laughter of the death rattle is akin. Chapter 25. The Star Ruby. Facing east, in the center, draw deep, deep, deep thy breath, closing thy mouth with thy right forefinger pressed against thy lower lip. Then, dashing down the hand with a great sweep back and out, expelling forcefully thy breath, cry, Apo Pantos Kakodemonos. With the same forefinger touch thy forehead, and say, Soy, thy member, and say, O Phale, thy right shoulder, and say, Iskoros, thy left shoulder, and say, Eucharistos. Then clasp thine hands, locking the fingers, and cry, I-A-O. Advance to the east. Imagine strongly a pentagram, aright in thy forehead. Drawing the hands to the eyes, fling it forth, making the sign of Horus, and roar, Chaos! Retire thine hand in the sign of Hor-Pa-Krat. Go round to the north and repeat, but scream, Babylon! Go round to the west and repeat, but say, Eros! Go round to the south and repeat, but bellow, Psyche! Completing the circle widdershins, retire to the center, and raise thy voice in the paean with these words, Iopan, with the sign of NOX. Extend the arms in the form of a tau, and say, low but clear, Promo Iungus Opisomo Teletarchai Epidexia Sinoches Eparistera Demones Flagei Gar Perimo Ho Aster Ton Pinte Kai in the still Ho Aster Ton Hex Estki. Repeat the cross Kabbalistic as above, and end as thou didst begin. Chapter 26. The Elephant and the Tortoise. The Absolute and the Conditioned together make the one Absolute. The second, who is the fourth, the Demiurge, whom all nations of men call the First, is a lie grafted upon a lie multiplied by a lie. Fourfold is he, the elephant upon whom the universe is poised, but the carapace of the tortoise supports and covers all. This tortoise is sixfold, the holy hexagram. These 6 and 4 are 10. 10, the one manifested that returns to the not unmanifest. The Almighty, the All-Ruler, the All-Knower, the All-Father, adored by all men and by me abhorred. Be thou accursed, be thou abolished, be thou annihilated. Amen. Chapter 27. The Sorcerer. A sorcerer, by the power of his magic, had subdued all things to himself. Would he travel? He could fly through space more swiftly than the stars. Would he eat, drink, and take his pleasure? There was none that did not instantly obey his bidding. In the whole system of 10,000,000 times 10,000,000 spheres upon the 22,000,000 planes he had his desire. And with all this he was but himself, alas. Chapter 28. The Pole Star. Love is all virtue, since the pleasure of love is but love, and the pain of love is but love. Love taketh no heed of that which is not, and of that which is. Absence exalteth love, and presence exalteth love. Love moveth from height to height of ecstasy, and faileth never. The wings of love droop not with time, nor slacken for life or for death. Love destroyeth self, uniting self with that which is not self, so that love breedeth all and none in one. Is it not so? No? Then thou art not lost in love. Speak not of love. Love always yieldeth. Love always hardeneth. May be. I write it, but to write her name. Chapter 29. The Southern Cross. Love, I love you. Night, night, cover us. Thou art night, O my love, and there are no stars but thine eyes. Dark night, sweet night, so warm and yet so fresh, so scented, yet so holy. Cover me, cover me. Let me be no more. Let me be thine. Let me be thou. Let me be neither thou nor I. Let there be love in night and night in love. N-O-X, the night of Pan, and Layla, the night before his threshold. Chapter 30. Jhana Dreams. Dreams are imperfections of sleep. Even so is consciousness the imperfection of waking. Dreams are impurities in the circulation of the blood. Even so is consciousness a disorder of life. Dreams are without proportion, without good sense, without truth. So also is consciousness. Awake from dream, the truth is known. Awake from waking, the truth is the unknown. Chapter 31. The Garret. It moves from motion into rest, and rests from rest into motion. These it does alway, for time is not. So that it does neither of these things. It does that one thing which we must express by two things, neither of which possesses any rational meaning. Yet its doing, which is no doing, is simple and yet complex, is neither free nor necessary, for all these ideas express relation, and it, comprehending all relation in its simplicity, is out of all relation even with itself. All this is true and false, and it is true and false to say that it is true and false. Strain forth thy intelligence, O man, O worthy one, O chosen of it, to apprehend the discourse of the Master, for thus thy reason shall at last break down, as the fetter is struck from the slave's throat. Chapter 32. The Mountaineer. Consciousness is a symptom of disease. All that moves well moves without will. All skillfulness, all strain, all intention is contrary to ease. Practice 1,000 times and it becomes difficult. 1,000 and it becomes easy. 1,000 times 1,000 and it is no longer thou that doeth it, but it that doeth itself through thee. Nor until then is that which is done well done. Thus spoke Frater Perdurabo, as he leapt from rock to rock of the moraine, without ever casting his eyes upon the ground. Chapter 33. Baphomet. A black two-headed eagle is God, even a black triangle is he. In his claw he beareth a sword, yea, a sharp sword is held therein. This eagle was burnt up in the great fire, yet not a feather is scorched. This eagle is swallowed up in the great sea, yet not a feather is wetted. So flieth he in the air, and lighteth upon the earth at his pleasure. So spake Iacobus Burgundus Molensis, the Grand Master of the Temple, and of the God that is ass-headed, did he dare not speak. Chapter 34. The Smoking Dog. Each act of man is the twist and double of an hare. Love and death are the greyhounds that course him. God bred the hounds and taketh his pleasure in the sport. This is the comedy of Pan, that man should think he hunteth, while those hounds hunt him. This is the tragedy of man, when facing love and death he turns to bay. He is no more hare, but boar. There are no other comedies or tragedies. Cease then to be the mockery of God. In savagery of love and death live thou and die. Thus shall his laughter be thrilled through with ecstasy. Chapter 35. Venus of Milo. Life is as ugly and necessary as the female body. Death is as beautiful and necessary as the male body. The soul is beyond male and female, as it is beyond life and death. Even as the lingam and the yoni are but diverse developments of one organ, so also are life and death but two phases of one state. So also the absolute and the conditioned are but forms of that. What do I love? There is no form, no being, to which I do not give myself wholly up. Take me who will. Chapter 36. The Star Sapphire. Let the adept be armed with his magic rood, and provide him with his mystic rose. In the center let him give the LVX signs. Or, if he know them, if he will and dare do them, and can keep silent about them, the signs of NOX, being the signs of puer, vir, puella, mulier. Omit the sign IR. Then let him advance to the east, and make the holy hexagram, saying, Pater et Mater, unus Deus aurerita. Let him go round to the south, make the holy hexagram, and say, Mater et Filius, unus Deus aurerita. Let him go round to the west, make the holy hexagram, and say, Filius et Filia, unus Deus aurerita. Let him go round to the north, make the holy hexagram, and then say, Filia et Pater unus Deus aurerita. Let him then return to the center, and so to the center of all, making the rosy cross as he may know how, saying, Aurerita, aurerita, aurerita. In this the signs shall be those of Set triumphant and of Baphomet. Also shall Set appear in the circle. Let him drink of the sacrament, and let him communicate the same. Then let him say, Omnia in duos, duo in unum, unus in nihil. Haec nec quator, nec omnia, nec duo, nec unus, nec nihil sunt. Gloria Patri et Matri et Filio et Filiae et Spiritui Sancto. Externo et Spiritui Sancto. Interno ut erat in saecula, saeculorum sex in uno per nomen septem, in uno ererita. Let him then repeat the signs of LVX, but not the signs of NOX, for it is not he that shall arise in the sign of Isis rejoicing. Chapter 37. Dragons. Thought is the shadow of the eclipse of Luna. Samadhi is the shadow of the eclipse of soul. The moon and the earth are the non-ego and the ego. The sun is that. Both eclipses are darkness. Both are exceedingly rare. The universe itself is light. Chapter 38. Lambskin. Cowan skidoo, tile, swear to Hile all. This is the mystery, life. Mind is the traitor. Slay mind. Let the corpse of mind lie unburied on the edge of the great sea. Death. This is the mystery. Tile, Cowan skidoo. Chapter 39. The Luby. Only Lubies find excellence in these words. It is unthinkable that A is not A. To reverse this is but to revert to the normal. Yet by forcing the brain to accept propositions, of which one set is absurdity, the other truism, a new function of brain is established. Vague and mysterious and all indefinite are the contents of this new consciousness. Yet they are somehow vital. By use they become luminous. Unreason becomes experience. This lifts the leaden-footed soul of the experience of that of which reason is the blasphemy. But without the experience these words are the lies of a Luby. Yet a Luby to thee, and a booby to me, a Balacius ruby to God may be. Chapter 40. The Hymog. A red rose absorbs all colors but red. Red is therefore the one color that is not. This law, reason, time, space, all limitation blinds us to the truth. All that we know of man, nature, God, is just that which they are not. It is that which they throw off as repugnant. The Hymog is only visible in so far as he is imperfect. Then are they all glorious who seem not to be glorious, as the Hymog is all glorious within? It may be so. How then distinguish the inglorious and perfect Hymog from the inglorious man of earth? Distinguish not, but thyself extinguish. Hymog thou art, and Hymog shall thou be. Chapter 41. Corned Beef Hash. In VVVVV is the great work perfect. Therefore none is that pertaineth not to VVVVV. In any may he manifest, yet in one hath he chosen to manifest, and this one hath given his ring as a seal of authority to the work of the AA through the colleagues of Frater Perdurabo. But this concerns themselves in their administration. It concerneth none below the grade of exempt adept, and such an one only by command. Also, since below the abyss reason is lord, let men seek by experiment, and not by questionings. Chapter 42. Dust Devils. In the wind of the mind arises the turbulence called I. It breaks. Down shower the barren thoughts. All life is choked. This desert is the abyss wherein is the universe. The stars are but thistles in that waste. Yet this desert is but one spot accursed in the world of bliss. Now and again travelers cross the desert. They come from the great sea, and to the great sea they go. As they go, they spill water. One day they will irrigate the desert till it flower. See, 5 footprints of a camel. VVVVV. Chapter 43. Mulberry Tops. Black blood upon the altar, and the rustle of angel wings above. Black blood of the sweet fruit, the bruised, the violated bloom, that setteth the wheel a-spinning in the spire. Death is the veil of life, and life of death, for both are gods. This is that which is written, a feast for life, and a greater feast for death, in the book of the law. The blood is the life of the individual. Offer then blood. Chapter 44. The Mass of the Phoenix. The magician, his breast bare, stands before an altar, on which are his burin, bell, thurible, and 2 of the cakes of light. In the sign of the Enterer he reaches west across the altar, and cries, Hail, Ra, that goest in thy bark into the caverns of the dark. He gives the sign of silence, and takes the bell and fire in his hands. East of the altar see me stand, with light and music in mine hand. He strikes 11 times upon the bell. 3, 3, 3, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 3, 3, 3, and places the fire in the thurible. I strike the bell, I light the flame, I utter the mysterious name, Abrahadabra. He strikes 11 times upon the bell. Now I begin to pray, thou child, holy thy name and undefiled. Thy reign is come, thy will is done. Here is the bread, here is the blood. Bring me through midnight to the sun. Save me from evil and from good. Take thy 1 crown of all the 10. Even now and here be mine. Amen. He puts the first cake in the fire of the thurible. I burn the incense cake, proclaim these adorations of thy name. He makes them as in Liber Legis, and strikes again 11 times upon the bell. With the burin he then makes upon his breast the proper sign.